What up, y'all? Back again. I'm coming at you with some more relevant pictures for the time period that just don't make sense. They just don't add up, y'all. And I'm coming at you. Most of these are going to be from America. And we're going to go through like the Midwest and out west all the way to New York in some of these, but you're going to find now there's a couple here from like Germany and these. Now this is, I think, Charleston, and this is in and around probably Civil War time. That's definitely Charleston. That's a famous photo. But what I'm getting at is look at these photos. Look at how high and tall the ceilings are. Of course, that's from Europe and those caverns. But that's just to show, like, there's something going on here. The Brooklyn Bridge in, like, in the mid-1800s, you're talking about, why is there a Brooklyn Bridge when there is no cars, y'all? And things like this. These bells have been taken out because, do you know that high-pitched sounds that come from bells is what scares and keeps demons away? It's very interesting. You'd find them in all the bell towers in all these churches, right? But you'll find these things, these massive structures in America in the middle of nowhere, or in populations of low range levels of population where they just either wouldn't have the capability or the ability to do it, or it just doesn't make sense. And that's the main thing. Everything should make sense. And when it doesn't make sense, it doesn't add up. It's because it's a fallacy. Generally speaking, that's the truth. Most of the time, it's not some mystical, magical reason for it. Now, I mean, outside of the Bible or the fallen ones, the narrative that we come from, our creationism, our true creationism. And my point that adds a lot of stock to this millennial kingdom thing is you just have structures in the middle of nowhere. They've been washed out. They've been beat down. But it's obvious that there was a time period shortly there before where they were glorious and they were pristine. And all of a sudden something happened, a major catastrophe that nobody's talking about in the recent years. Especially back then, it was real recent because we were just reset. And then when you know the biblical narrative is spot on, then you got to look in the biblical narrative and say, well, where does this fit in? Because you got these, cowboy Western type people and Native Americans and individuals that were, say, immigrating to the United States. We could just talk about the United States. Let's just do it. But really the whole world was of this same genre of education. I mean, even when you have kings and princes living in castles, and you mean to tell me our narrative says that they didn't know how to create a bathroom? They would just have chamber pots and things. I mean, come on. You're not very educated when you're doing things like that, and that would come from out of a reset. And what would cause a reset like this and out of the biblical narrative? Because the Bible has been shown and taught and well versed in its ability to handle itself. It honors itself, it respects itself, and it is the truth, y'all. And I'm here to tell you that this is between the millennial kingdom end and the little season. That's where these structures came from. They were left over, and in between the millennial kingdom and the beginning of the little season of Satan's reign, this is what was going on, and it's been covered up. All under this cover. Thank you. Part 2's coming.